Before the start of this video, given the spirit of this video, I wanted to give a very specific shout out to my buddy Corey, aka Frozen Stratos on Twitter, who made me this awesome original ranger based off my name, but especially primarily based on two of my great loves in Toku, which is the White Dino Thunder Drago Ranger suit and the Go Busters suit. It looks absolutely amazing. I love it so much. You'll probably be seeing it around the channel in various videos or as my avatar, kind of like a part-time new mascot. He's on a trial basis, but he's still awesome. It's the White Buster Beetleborg. So yeah, thanks a lot, buddy. Seriously, you're the best. It looks awesome.
Dawson's Rambles.
Alright, hey YouTube, Dawson Ryder here, and happy Power Rangers Day. So, it is officially Power Rangers Day. It's now been an officially, ranked, sanctioned, approved, like, holiday, kind of like, hot dog day, nacho day, hamburger. I'm just hungry, I think. Like, I'm gonna eat after this. Maybe I'll do a Japan Crate video. Who knows? I have one to do. But yeah. So yeah, it's like one of those days commemorating when PR premiered 25 years ago. So I thought it would be a fun video to commemorate. I'll just use the word commemorate a lot. And talk about why Power Rangers is special to me. Maybe just some memories and stuff like that. So yeah. Power Rangers. Power Rangers is hugely important to me, and just doing this video and thinking about doing this video, and then doing this video while thinking about doing this video, I was thinking about how, like, I wouldn't even be filming this video right now if it wasn't for Power Rangers. Like, it's crazy to me that this franchise is such a huge core part of my life, like, in a good way, because if I never picked up Power Rangers or Power Rangers never existed, my life would be somewhere completely different. I'm admittedly curious to see where that is. Like, I want to see Earth 2 Dawson, what he's up to. Probably not even called Dawson. He's probably called Possum. But, actually, I'm gonna go % Power Rangers. I don't know. I got distracted. I distracted myself with my own joke, just as per usual. But, based on, like, when I was little, my first experience with Power Rangers was, finding a Black Ranger figure at the store, thinking it was cool, getting it, and then checking out the show. I wasn't there on day one when Day of the Dumpster premiered, but, I was there during the first season, early days. I don't remember what the first episode I watched was. I just remember finding it on Fox Kids and then following it from there on out. And, I remember the tapes that I wore out of the VHSs were the Day of the Dumpster tape and Green with Evil, and then the Wannabe Ranger, which is like a super standout episode to me. I watched that one almost the most, which is why it was really cool they used that type of plot in Hyperforce. But so yeah. So then from then on, it was like a main part of my life. Like, it was like the main, it's always has been, at least in the top 5 main things I liked. It's, one of my core passions, which is why it takes so much priority on the channel when there's news or for the toy reviews. It's just, of Toku, it's my core passion. It's the thing I enjoy talking about the most, even when PR is at its worst. Like, sometimes I even enjoy reviewing, a crappy Power Rangers toy more than, like, oh, this is the 15th gimmick toy I reviewed for Build, just because I find a lot of it interesting and it's my favorite subject matter, which is why it's so important to me. But it's just crazy because it always became then a mainstay, it was almost like a tradition, like, and I remember how exciting it was when Zeo came out. That was like mind-blowing, and I loved the promotion for that, and then Turbo with the movie, and then when we started doing everything yearly, it was like this whole cycle of excitement of like, oh man, the new series is going to come out, everything was so mysterious and new. One of my favorite times of the year was around the holidays, toy hunting for the new Ranger toys and finding them on the shelves. And hopefully, I don't know how it's going to work with Beast Morphers, if we're actually going to see something at the holidays, probably not. But I hope after that we start to see a cycle where we see it at the holidays, because that's one of my favorite things. But it was just this excitement of every year, and it became a tradition, even when, other interests would spike up a little bit, during the Yu-Gi-Oh days and stuff, when I played the card game and I played the Dragon Ball card game, and sometimes other things would take sort of, a higher role, but Power Rangers would always be there, and for so long it was something that I was kind of ashamed of, so I kind of secretly liked it, and, would secretly watch it and do my little toy hunting for stuff. But, now obviously it's more out in the open. I'm talking to the internet. Hi internet, how's it going? We haven't talked in a while, since the last vlog, or the toy review, but not face-to-face, like, we should get coffee sometime. Anyway, no, but yeah, it's just like crazy, and it was always a main thing. And then, it's kind of crazy, actually, the way the genesis of the channel and Power Ranger stuff was, it was always in the background, and I'd recently sort of parted ways with a friend, and then reconnected with an old friend who wound up becoming one of my best friends now, but he was super into Ninja Turtles, and he had this wall display in his room filled with all the Ninja Turtles figures. He didn't care, he was proud of it, and it really inspired me to you know, put my love of Power Rangers front and center. And, you know, I started collecting again, bringing out my other collection stuff, finding the online fandom, finding more information about Sentai. I remember like one of my home pages was Linear Ranger's site. Like, I loved his site. He did such a great job. When he like retired, he like even mentioned me in his little like, oh, here's sources you can see now that I'm not really doing full-time reviews anymore. And that was like a huge moment for me because like I followed his stuff like religiously when I was first getting into the online stuff. And yeah, so like I just got really back into it, and then I started reviews basically. I think I've mentioned this before. This is not part of the video because I've done this question before, but basically out of boredom because there really wasn't, I thought it looked fun and there wasn't a lot of Toku content. So that was kind of the genesis of it, but it's just kind of crazy to think that this whole part of my life and doing reviews and the friends I've made is all because of Power Rangers. And, you know, I often harp on the fandom, you know. I think I've gotten better in this last year. I've tried to sort of get myself out of a toxic situation, like friendship and negative space, and I'm still a little bit of I'm a pessimist guy, but I've been trying to be better. But, you know, I often talk about, the point is how toxic the fandom can be, and there is some bad stuff in it. But sometimes I do take for granted, which is something I've appreciated recently, reconnecting with my RR buddies and talking to my friends on the streets. RR the streets, not just like the regular streets. Just how special it is to be able to talk Power Rangers with people, because I remember what it was like to be ashamed and just lurk on Ranger board at best, and like the fact that we can make like no one gets inside references and stuff like that, and it's that's what she said. And that at the same time, it's like sometimes I take for granted how cool it is to have an in-depth conversation about like Lightspeed Rescue and then throw around a bunch of random PR Toku references and get people to reciprocate that. Like, it's become so commonplace, whether it's in person, you know, in-person Skype, or, you know, I guess in person Morphicon too, but also, you know, online and interacting with you guys, whether it's on here on Twitter. I take it for granted, but every now and then I'll have a moment I'm like, you know, appreciate that, wow, I could just have that interaction, you know, that used to be so few and far between. So it is a special thing, and the fandom has gotten bigger and bigger, and we're on the cusp of maybe even getting bigger with Hasbro taking over. But I do appreciate that it's such a niche thing. I mean, everybody loves Marvel and Star Wars. I do too. Those are two of my favorite things, but Power Rangers is such a unique, special thing that I'm kind of uniquely grateful to like something so unique. And people ask me all the time, not all the time, but whenever it comes up, you know, why Power Rangers? Because it's unfortunate, even though I'm out and proud about it, you know, like I wear Power Rangers shirts, I'll talk about it freely, I really don't hide it. It still is kind of a weird thing for people, despite the fact that like nerd geek culture is like mainstream, hardcore right now. Power Rangers is still like looked down on, even though stuff like My Little Pony is like, oh yeah, you're a brony, tight bro, and you're like, oh, Power Rangers? No, I'm not gonna fist bump you. So, but and it's hard to describe, and unfortunately there's like a stigma around it, like, oh, MMPR, the 90s was like this weird stigma where people are like, yeah, 90s hardcore for the win, 90s kids are the best, everyone sucks. But then they're like, yeah, but it was also cheesy trash. I'm like, was it awesome or was it trash? I don't know. But so that's like the first and only thing people think of, and so it's kind of hard to get around that, but it's kind of hard to describe. There's just something unique about Power Rangers and the tokusatsu genre. The transforming hero aspect with robots, and it's almost undescribable in a way. I've done a couple videos where I've tried to describe it, but I've just always liked how unique it is. I've always loved the concept of the morphing, and specifically about Power Rangers, what makes it special to me over the others, which I'm grateful to Power Rangers for opening me up to Sentai and Rider, which I love, and other Toku series, which I've checked out. But it's something about Power Rangers, I think especially what it was the Zordon era. How everything was so connected, which was something I loved. I loved that it felt like its own unique universe, like a Star Wars or a Marvel, where it was a little messy, but it was something I even appreciated more when I got older, because when I rewatched it, I'm like, oh yeah, this is kind of messy, but this is also super neat, because I know this comes from this Toku, and this one comes from this, like this is Die Ranger and Cock Ranger, this is Mega Ranger, but they all fit into this cohesive universe, and it's gotten a little messier, but we've gotten into some multiverse storytelling, and it's not perfect, but it makes it so unique in a way that Sentai and Rider just isn't for me, because their connections in terms of like a larger universe is so fleeting. It's like, you know, oh, we're connected now because we want to do this movie, but we're also not over here because we don't want to interfere with our plot points. So there's just something so special about that universe for me, and the comic now being something that's finally taking advantage of that in a way that I've kind of just dreamed of is like amazing to see someone, a group of people, take advantage of this universe and see its potential. And it's so special, and it's something that I can always just watch and come back to and rewatch and enjoy. Even at its worst, it's like my #1 thing, and I love Power Rangers so much. It's crazy. Like, it's like a weird thing that it managed to stick with me so long, and that I can still watch it, and I don't want to say it doesn't get aged. Like, MMPR definitely is dated. Like, it's hard to watch, but a lot of them, it's like, oh yeah, this still holds up. And yeah, it's great. I'm so excited also for the potential of the future with Hasbro. I think that it'd be nice to finally see Power Rangers reach a level where it can be more accepted. Just not so much necessarily for me as like, I mean, it'll be great to not be always like, oh, MMPR, you still like that. But I think it'd be great to have people see, you know, what Power Rangers can be, because so many people looked away right when it evolved. And that's what I think is cool about the comics too, because I'm sure there's a great amount of people that picked it up for, oh, MMPR was the best, let's pick this comic up. And then they're like, oh, this is pretty good. And then now they're actually getting exposed to these great worlds and characters that they didn't see because they looked away. But yeah, I just wanted to make a video to commemorate that. I might try to do a little something every year, who knows. But yeah, Power Rangers, #1 passion, love it. Love that I got to bring these videos to you guys and make the friends I have because of this. Let me know what your best Power Rangers memories are, you know, in the comments, or if you want to make it a video and stuff, who knows what you want to do, kind of like the getting to know a video. But yeah, I appreciate it. Appreciate any discussion that happens with this. Appreciate you guys. Lots of videos on the way. This will be coming out on Power Rangers Day, obviously. Tonight will be a review for Dimensions in Danger, the crossover special. And then tomorrow, which should be Wednesday, will be Shattered Grid, and hopefully a toy review as well, the Shattered Grid finale. So very exciting times. Anyway, until next time, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and of course, don't forget to climb the steps and ring the bell so you can get the notifications for all my videos. Dawson Ryder, signing out.